School Central Campus Social Studies teacher, presented by Michelle Smith. Nomination by Tom Markham.
Throughout the school year, my daughter would come home and tell me stories about what happened in school that day. As any father of a 15-year-old knows, girls this age just love to talk. My daughter's no exception, except at times she didn't talk so much about her friends and things that happened at lunch and so on. She would instead talk about her history class and something that Mr. Hanley did to make the class exciting. My favorite story was when he was teaching the class about Adolf Hitler's demands on other nations. He used an analogy of a spoiled toddler crying louder and louder until his parents gave in to what he wanted. To illustrate this analogy, Mr. Hanley chose two students from the class to be the parents, and he himself played the role of toddler. He started by crying that he wanted a pencil on the student's desk. He cried loud and loud, and the parents finally gave in, realizing that he wasn't going to stop crying until they gave him what he wanted. He then cried louder that he wanted another student's book, then a book bag. Each time the item getting bigger and bigger, and the cries louder and louder, until finally he just simply stated, "I want him," and pointed to a student in the class, took him, and walked out the door with him. Mr. Hanley not only taught all the students in his class that day, he also taught at least one parent indirectly. This was one of several times that I learned something from this man that I never met. Well, now it's my turn to share something with Mr. Hanley that he may not know. Of the three career paths my daughter is considering, at the top of the list is a high school history teacher. Well done, Mr. Hanley.
First of all, thank you to everyone. Thank you to Mr. Markham. Thank you to Chloe, his daughter, for putting up with me every day. And thank you to the board for considering it and for bestowing this honor on me. It really does mean quite a bit. This is year 5 for me teaching, and every single day, whether it's with the basketball team, the baseball team, or my class, the first thing I always tell my students is, I lead with 2 things. The first thing I say is, I have no life. It always gets a little bit of a mixed reaction, but I always say, I have no life. My life is this school. So you don't know, I grew up in Plainfield. I've lived here my entire life. The privilege of attending Plainfield High School Central Campus, and the privilege of teaching there as well. So it really means a lot to me that school experiences success. So I tell them I have no life. Anytime, I'm probably going to be here. If you need me for anything, I will be here. Said further on down the line, I'll meet a girl, I'll have some kids, and that'll be fine. That speech worked very well when I was 22. Now it's 5 years later, and I'm 27. Sorry, Mom, at some point in time we'll find out. So hopefully in 5 years, maybe I'm not giving that same speech. But so that's the first thing. The second thing I say is apathy is not allowed, which unfortunately leads to a third thing. We have to explain what the word apathy means. But yeah, the one thing we're going to do on the basketball court, on the baseball field, and in the classroom is we're going to try. You can have all the different types of failures you want, and we're going to experience failures, but we're not going to sit in the back of the classroom and just kind of sit there and be the cool kid. You're going to be the kid who tries hard. You have failures, that's fine, get up and try again. So if that's what I preach to my students, then I sure hope I'm doing the same thing. So that's what I try to do, and I really appreciate being honored for that, for just simply trying and trying my best to have my students experience that success. This means a lot to me. I really do appreciate that. I know a couple just real quick thank yous. I see my high school coach, Coach Stevens, who's now the athletic director, made it here. I want to thank him for all that he's done for my life, and all he's done to turn me into the person I am today. And sitting in front of them is my mom and dad. For anyone who knows me, they know that my parents are my heroes, and they know that I would be nothing without them. And it's very easy to care about people when you have Bill and Linda Hanley as your parents, because they do everything in this district. They do everything for people, and they just set that example. I had here at some point in the speech to maybe pause and fake cry, but I'm going to skip over that. So it's just thank you very much to everyone sitting over there. It means so much to me, and thank you. Thank you.